Good evening. Well, it's good morning, but I'm still on day 14. My name is LD Robinson, and this is the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. 2026 is day 14, is love and romance. And excuse me, I'm going to read because I don't want to get too far behind in our days, and I still have day 12 to read. Um, Thriller Day. And so we'll get to it this weekend, I think, and with our selection. But today is Love and Romance, and it's day 14, and we are reading. It's very, very late, but I'm going to. Oh, it's day 14, not day 13. That tells you it's been a very busy day today. Put here 14. Love and I can barely see because I broke my eyeglasses. So if there are any mistakes here, I'm telling you that it is not intentional. That's for sure. um, but I do need to do this and sorry about this, guys. But we're gonna make it. I'm squinting. I mean squinting. I've picked out the pair of glasses that are also broken, but I I need they're the ones that I can actually read with. So it's a little odd day right now, but it's gonna be all right. And all right, just make sure. All right, there we go. Whew. All right, so I'm back, and it is Love and Romance Day, and I'm going to read. It's still before midnight somewhere in the world, and so we're going to claim our time for being on day 14, although we're on the East Coast. So it's day 14. It is Love and Romance, and that looks, yeah, let's correct that. Is Love and Romance. And so we're going to read. We have a selection today um, for our. It's Valentine's Day, by the way. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody! And we hope that you have enjoyed your day, or you are enjoying your day. Love Day, Happy Love Day. I heard someone say that tonight while I was out working, and I'm going to repeat it. Happy Love Day. All right. And so we are here with Love and Romance, and it is What If I Love You by Yvonne Marie. And um, we're going to read from our selection, and then we're going to wrap it up tonight. And I think that's right. I'm trying to make sure I get the title right. We always want to do justice by our titles. Um, Y'all, I have broken so many pairs of glasses that it is unbelievable. And not only did I break glasses today, I also dropped a pair in the toilet. It's been a wonderful day today. It's been a day of love. All right. All right, so I think we're good now. It says I can't tell if um our selection for today is What If I Love You? And that is our read today. And I please forgive me if that is incorrect. All right. So we're going to read. I'm reading from this um, old pair of eyeglasses. And we're reading from What If I Love You by Yvonne Marie. And so we're going to put up our cover right now so that we can show you the book so that you can take a look at it. And it's What If I Love You by Yvonne Marie. And let's read. Let's get off that first. Let's read. It's all good. It's all good. It's all good. It is all good. Okay. All right. So, the story is told between Renee and Knox, who are the main characters. And so we're reading chapter 11 from Renee. It's a very interesting story. Um, in fact, I think we'll go back. So I'll give a little background. Renee is autistic, but she's also a designer of various products, but particularly neurodivergent products to help those who have certain disabilities, neural disabilities, and so she develops these products for neurodivergent persons. And there's a big thing going on, and so we're here with Renee in her telling of uh, her part of the story. In this particular one, it is after they've reconnected. Okay, Renee. We arrive at Grove State Park, a 2 hour drive from Austin, on an overcast Saturday morning around 7. It's the perfect place for a beginner camping trip. There are easy to moderate trails to hike, lake access, fishing, swimming, and paddle boating. The sky is in massive heavy gray clouds, the temperature hovering around 65 degrees. In the summer, the campsite and trails would be packed, but on a cool October day, our group is one of only a few out here today. After I register our group with the park ranger's office and get our passes, I join Knox on the back of his truck. He passes me a thermos of coffee and we sit quietly, looking out over the still waters of Lake Travis. I check the time. The campers are going to be arriving soon. Before they do, I clear my throat, square my shoulders, and turn to Knox. Listen, I appreciate you helping me out, but you're the leader here, Renee. I'm just your assistant. Tell me what to do, and I'll do it. I promise I won't overstep, he says to me. I nod and take him at his word. I slip on my bright green camp leader vest and stand to greet the campers as they park and gather around our meeting spot. It's not like I'm new to leading teams, but still, my stomach tightens a little at having to do this on my own for the first time. Usually, Andy does most of the talking, and I provide more one on one support to campers, helping them figure out how to set up their tents and safely move through the trails and answer their questions. But today, it will have to be me. I take a deep breath looking at Knox. He just nods at me. Good morning, folks. Gather around. My voice falters a bit, fading off at the end. The group of 5 barely looks up. They're huddled together. Excuse me. Excuse me. Chatting excitedly and introducing themselves. My nervousness ramps, but I clear my throat and try again, this time louder, lifting my arm in the air for emphasis. Good morning. Finally, they turn to me, see the green vest, and realize I'm the camp leader. Let's circle up. They slowly move closer, and I get a better look at the group. There are 4 women and 1 man, ranging in age from early 20s to 50s. I take a moment to think back to how Andy used to handle this first part. Hey, y'all, I'm Renee, and I'll be your group leader for this trip. This is my friend Knox, who will be assisting me over the next day. Let's go around and introduce ourselves. Share your name and why you decided to join this trip. There's a momentary pause as they peer around at each other sheepishly. No one wants to be the first to speak. Finally, the sole guy in the group speaks up. He's a white guy in his 20s who looks like he spends more time in front of a computer than in the outdoors. He pushes his glasses up his face, tugs at his beanie, turning to the group. I'll go first. I'm Devin. I recently moved to Dallas for work, and my firm is hosting a team camping trip. I'm the only member of my team who has never been camping. I just don't want to look like it, so trying to get a little experience under my belt. He shrugs and steps back into the small group. A young blonde wearing fitted green cargo pants and a pink puffer jacket goes next. Good morning, folks. I'm Becca, and I don't know. I guess I always just wanted to try camping, so here I am. She flips her hair back, directing her smiles at Knox. I peek at Knox to see if he notices, but his full attention seems to be on me. We continue around the group. There are two black women, Terry and Sam, in their 40s who have been best friends for more than 20 years and are dreaming of hiking the Appalachian Trail together one day. There's Martha, a widow who just turned 60 and promised her husband before he died that she wouldn't give up on life. So she made a list of new experiences she was going to have, and camping was one of them. Their stories remind me of why I fell in love with camping and backpacking, and why I want to help other people have this experience too. I started leading these trips after Knox left because I felt so lonely and hurt, and only these trips helped me feel connected to other people and the land. I hope that by the time you head home tomorrow, you feel a deep sense of connection to the land that we're standing on, and you feel more confident in your ability to plan your own camping trips with family and friends. I take a deep breath and pull away the clipboard I've been pressing to my chest like an anchor. I quickly run the list of activities, eager for the spotlight to no longer be on me. The group waits patiently for me to give them their next direction. Okay, let's start setting up camp. We all grabbed our packs and began walking to the camping site. I noticed Becca looking around a little frantically. I also noticed that her backpack is much smaller than everyone else's, so there is no way she could be carrying a tent. Everything okay, Becca? She smiled sheepishly at me. We're staying in cabins or like one of those glamping tents where everything is included, right? Excuse me. I raise my eyebrows and give Knox a WTF look. Did you get the packing list that was sent when you signed up? I ask. She smiles painfully. I mean, I glanced at it. I'm completely at a loss. What would Andy do right now? My instinct is just to send her home and tell her to try again another day when the group all begins to chime in. Martha says, Oh, sweetie, don't worry. I'm sure we can sort you out. Everyone else begins to nod and offers to pitch in to make sure Becca has everything she needs to get through the night. The group has already started to bond. If I send her home now, it will totally kill the vibe. Knox looks at me and just shrugs her mouth. It'll be fine. Excuse me. So I decide to let go and hope I don't end up regretting it. When we finally get through setting up tents, I give the group some free time to hang out by the lake or walk along one of the nearby trails. I walk around the campsite doing one final inspection of everyone's tent to make sure they've got their ground cloth down, adequate padding, and a rain fly above their tents to protect them from the rain. It's only once I've made the rounds that I notice that Becca isn't the only person who forgot to pack a tent. I find Knox stacking some wood for the fire later. Hey Knox, where's your tent? He drops the bundle of logs in his arms on the ground and turns to me. He smiles, and I notice a little charcoal mixed with his signature cedar and sage smell. I didn't bring a tent. What do you mean you didn't bring a tent? I ask. Renee, we always share a tent, he says like it's obvious. You mean we used to share a tent when we used to go camping together, but that was then. He moves to begin preparing the fire pit with charcoal and logs. Well, I guess we'll be continuing that tradition since I did not pack a separate tent. I stare at him with my mouth hanging open, unable to respond when Terry, Sam, and Martha return from their hike. They're laughing and talking, and for a moment I appreciate the sight and forget about being annoyed at Knox. Did you enjoy your hike? I ask, smiling at them. It was great. Sam beams back at me. And you were right about the layers. Half a mile in, I was stripping out of my jacket and pullover. The rest of the day goes by in a blur, preparing meals, paddle boating, playing games, and exploring the park. By the time the sun starts to set, everyone begins to settle in for the evening. I let Knox talk them through how to build a fire. I stand back and watch him. He's so relaxed talking with people, it never feels forced for him. Unlike me. The entire day, I've been extra aware of every word out of my mouth, every facial expression, every detail of this trip, constantly double checking that I didn't forget something or someone. But everyone seems to be just having fun, enjoying themselves. I'm deep in my own thoughts, running through another mental checklist when I feel knocks at my shoulder. You're doing great. Everyone's having a great time. Just relax. By the time the sun has set, we've enjoyed a classic campsite dinner of bratwurst and baked beans. Everyone seems happy and full. I sit back quietly and watch them around the fire, their faces all tinted with a warm golden hue. Knox and Becca are directly across from me. I watch the natural ease way they engage with each other, and not for the first time I wonder why Knox is still single. In fact, I only know because Jordan told me. Becca reminds me of his ex girlfriend. The same fit, thin build, golden blonde hair that falls in natural waves around her face. The ability to flirt and do that back and forth banter thing that always makes me feel like I'm in a high stakes game of ping pong. Knox throws his head back in laughter at something she says, and my heart seems to stutter. I desperately want to go hide in the tent and not feel like I'm lurking on the outer edge of yet another social group. But I'm the camp leader. I can't leave. Devin drops down in his seat next to me with his notebook and pen out. The whole day he has been taking copious notes about everything I've taught them today. Hey, do you mind walking me through the steps to create an appropriate sleep system again? I want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Sure thing, Devin. I spend the next 30 minutes answering every detailed question he has. It's just the distraction that I need to keep me from imagining Becca and Knox falling in love and telling a story about how it all began with a camping trip where neither one of them thought to bring a tent. By the time I finish answering all of Devin's questions, the group seems ready to call it a night. Knox walks over to where Devin and I are sitting on a log and sits down on the other side of me. His body presses against mine and he wraps an arm around my waist. I look at him quizzically and then return my focus to Devin. Any other questions? Devin looks over his notes. Not right now, maybe tomorrow. I try to ignore the feel of Knox pressed up against me. Okay. Devin doesn't move, but neither does Knox. And so, for an awkward moment, I'm sitting between them on this piece of wood. I turn to Knox. You good? He gives me a look I can't quite read. All I can see is the fire dancing in his eyes. I feel the heat coming off his body, replacing the chill in the air, and his finger rubbing against my hip. I'm tingling and melting, feeling almost intoxicated. Good night, Devin, Knox says, never taking his eyes off me. Finally, Devin looks up from his notes and realizes he's an unwelcome third party on this log. Oh, yep, good night, he says and scoots off to his tent. You ready for bed? He says softly. And those words send a zing straight through my core. I press my legs together to chase the sensation a bit. Across the fire, Becca is watching us, but when we make eye contact, she quickly looks down at her phone. I turn back to Knox, and all I can do is nod. Knox leads me to our tent, my hand pressed into his. Just as we're about to head in, I snap out of it and remember that I'm responsible for 5 other people who need to be ready to spend their first night sleeping outdoors. Wait, I need to check in with them and make sure they're all set for the night. I try to pull my hand away, but he holds on more firmly. Already talked them through it while you were answering Devin about the sleeping bag temperature ratings and moisture wicking fabrics, he says somewhat cynically while dragging me into the tent. Good night, you two, someone calls out, and I feel the urge to run out and explain that nothing is happening. We're just friends. He would never see me that way. He's more likely to date someone like Becca than me. But Knox has already dropped a flap onto my tent, closing us in. Excuse me. It's only once we're inside that I realize just how small this tent is. The air mattress that I packed is even smaller. I can't believe you didn't bring a tent, I huff, shaking my head. But Knox does not seem at all bothered by the accommodations. He strips down to his base layers, a long sleeve tee and sweatpants and climbs inside his sleeping bag, waiting for me to join him. Thank God he brought a sleeping bag. I don't know how long we lie there, side by side, staring at the tent ceiling until he finally speaks. You smell the same. I turned my head at his comment. He chuckles. I know that's a weird thing to say, but it's true. You used to smell like citrus. You still do. For a long time, I would try to find that scent. I couldn't figure out what it was. It wasn't perfume. I know you don't like perfume. So I figured it had to be a body wash or a lotion. I remember going to drugstores and department stores searching for it. Eventually, I realized that I just missed you. I missed the smell of you. He turns on his side toward me and breathes me in, eyes closed, a small smile on his face. We're both quiet for a moment. Weirdo, I say. And then we both crack up laughing, and it feels so good, almost like we used to be when we were friends. I close my eyes and try to sleep, but the feel of him so close to me has all my senses on high alert. It's like I'm afraid that when I wake up, he'll be gone again. His voice cuts through the darkness. I know you're awake. I sigh and say nothing. I feel his hand move across the air mattress, stopping just next to mine. Our pink is barely touching. Nay, I'm sorry that I ever made you feel that I didn't respect you or trust you. I know you're strong. I know you don't need me. The emotion in his voice makes me long to wrap my arms around him. But that's the thing. I do need you. I always have. But you left, and I had no choice but to figure it out on my own. My voice is barely audible. And honestly, it has really been hard running Renox on my own. He's quiet for a moment, and I can almost feel the wheels turning, trying to figure out how to begin. He turns in his sleeping bag to face me. I never wanted to leave you, but at the time I thought I didn't have a choice. My father was diagnosed with an aggressive form of lymphoma. Renex had just completed our first product launch when he came to me and told me he was dying and didn't know how long he had left. His final wish was to know that I would take over Lion Tech and continue the family legacy. He was proud of what we were building with Renex and even suggested that it become a subsidiary of Lion, but I knew you would never go for that. At first, I dismissed that explanation, but then I remember how important it was to me to be independent and socially driven, and I know he's right. I continue to stare at the ceiling of our tent. Why didn't you just tell me? I was completely blindsided. One day we're planning our strategy for the next 3 years, and the next you tell me you decided that startup life isn't for you, and you want to go work for the family business, which made no sense because you never wanted to work for your dad. I feel like there are tiny fireworks going off in my body. I need to move. Knox continues to watch me, one arm tucked beneath his head, his long sweatpants covered legs stretched inside the sleeping bag. My dad was hiding his illness. He didn't want anyone to know. He even made me sign a non disclosure agreement. He was afraid the board would push him out before he could plan his succession and put me into place as the new CEO. I couldn't tell you. Or at the time, I thought I couldn't tell you. I think at the time I was devastated about losing him, and I felt like I owed it to him to keep his secret. I kept thinking I needed to make up for all the time I wasted trying to prove I was good enough to stand on my own. More than anything, I just wanted more time with my dad. He sits up, zipping down his bag and drawing his long legs up to rest his hands on his knees. But in the process, I betrayed you. You were the most important person in my life up until that moment when my father told me he was dying. And instead of turning to you, I lied to protect him, and I've regretted it every day since. We remain quiet in the darkness. I unzip my sleeping bag so I can sit up and let his words sink in. We turn to face each other, sitting knee to knee. The small, dark, enclosed space creates a cocoon around us. I'm so sorry, Nate. His voice cracks, and without thinking, without wanting to, I reach out for him. He grabs my hands and pulls me toward him. He wraps his arms around me and holds me close, cradling my head against his chest and breathing his sage and cedar scent. You left me, I cry. My own emotions startled me and I tried to pull away, but he holds on tighter. I'll never leave you again. His words are too much. Where do new promises fit when all that's left is broken space? Our friendship was like a solid vessel. It held me. It provided stability. When I lacked shape and form, it provided the very structure I needed to remember my own wholeness, and he took that from me. Yet right now, here he is, holding me together as the last 4 years come flooding out of me in tears and breath and moans. He holds me until I can breathe without gasping and gulping in air, until I no longer feel like every nerve ending is threatening to explode. His strong arms wrap around me, pulling me close, and I can no longer resist the truth. Knox has always been my home. And this is from our selection today for Love and Romance. What If I Love You by Yvonne Marie. And we'll put up our cover again as soon as I get banner off here. And let's put up our cover for today. It is What If I Love You by Yvonne Marie. And it's for our day 14 Love and Romance Day here at the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. And we are so excited that you have joined us for another Read Aloud. And we'll be back tomorrow for day 15 of the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. And day 15 tomorrow is, give me one second here. Day 15 on tomorrow will be, uh, I'm not sure. Give me one second here. Boom, 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 boom. My computer's been doing something really weird here, so bear with me while I look at this and see what it tells me. For some reason, my photos all of a sudden start coming out in some other way, and I have no idea why. It suddenly wants to start reading photos in some different application. It's been a blessed week. That's all I can say. It's been a very blessed week. And day 15 tomorrow will be, uh, it will be, and how about that? That just went away. Um, Let me just go over here where I know it is. Day 15 tomorrow is gardening. All right. So we'll be back tomorrow with our gardening selection. And we hope you will join us for another Read Aloud. And it's been day 14, Love and Romance, here at the International Great Black Read Aloud Day. We want to remind you that we read here for educational purposes and that our part of what we do is on a mission to encourage you to explore, purchase, and read books written by Black people. That is why we're here giving voice to words written by Black people around the world. And so we'll see you tomorrow for day 15 of the International Great Black Read Aloud Day 2026. Have a good night and happy Valentine's Day, happy Love Day, and we hope that you experience all the love that you need to be a better version of yourself. All right, bye bye.